So our boy E.T.C got a huge talent rework in the latest patch, and it's not entirely clear whether or not he got buffed or nerfed. I'm going to be going through each of the talent tiers and explaining what I think are viable talents and the situations to use them in. After that, I'll give my final thoughts on the cow. So let's start at level 1. There are 3 solid talents to choose here: Block, Prog Rock, and Rolling Like a Stone. Pwn Shot Guitar is completely unnecessary as Guitar Solo already got reduced by 20 mana this patch, and E.T.C generally doesn't have mana problems, even with the mana nerfs. Block is an okay choice, but I like the other 2 talents here a bit better. Prog Rock is a pretty cool ability and works similarly to Regeneration Master, except that each globe increases the health regen by 2 and only when using Guitar Solo. It's not a stretch to have collected around 20 globes after 10 to 15 minutes, which gives you around 40 additional health regen a second while Guitar Solo is active. Not bad. My personal favorite is Rolling Like a Stone. The increased range on Power Slide is really nice for connecting on ganks and setting up mosh pits. For level 4, there's really only one solid choice: Double Neck Guitar. The increased width and speed really makes Power Slide an insanely powerful ability that is almost impossible to dodge. Combined with Rolling Like a Stone, Mosh Pit becomes even more and more easy to land. As for other talents, Hammer On is pretty useless. Mic Check isn't 100% reliable, and the cooldown reduction isn't that big of a deal since you want Power Slide and Face Melt to be used in tandem. Pinball Wizard is pointless because Face Melt doesn't do that much damage anyway and requires the person to be hit by Power Slide to even work. At level 7, I like to take Follow Through. Because Guitar Hero got changed, a good amount of E.T.C's damage got taken away. Follow Through brings that damage back, just without the healing and attack reset. Loudspeakers is a decent talent and can be taken if you want more utility for your team. The new Guitar Hero isn't very strong anymore, and there are better talents to take at this tier. Just Keep Rockin' is the replacement for Relentless and is a strong pick if the enemy team has a lot of crowd control. I'm not the biggest fan of it as it requires Guitar Solo to be active to get this effect, which isn't as consistent. For the heroics, I tend to take Mosh Pit more in this patch compared to previously taking Stage Dive a lot of the time. Nothing changed about either heroic, but the leveled up Power Slide makes it far easier to stun multiple enemies and get off a solid Mosh Pit. At level 13, we've got a couple cool talents to choose from. Groupie's got a significant buff since it got moved up a few talent tiers. It actually ends up healing over 120 HP to nearby allies, which can be great for a team comp with limited healing capabilities. Face Melt is an okay talent that essentially makes E.T.C more of a crowd control machine. I tend to take Showstopper as the 25% reduction of incoming damage is just too strong. It's like a MIDI hardened shield. With the talent rework, I find Showstopper is necessary to keep the tankiness E.T.C had before this patch. Level 16 is a real doozy. All these talents are pretty strong and good in their own specific situation. Echo Pedal, like Groupies, got a big buff in damage and is actually pretty impactful in team fights. If you're looking for more damage, Echo Pedal definitely offers that. Imposing Presence is as good as usual for auto attack based heroes like Illidan and Vala. Encore isn't that strong or reliable and is the weakest talent here, even though it is kind of fun. Speed Metal is just as good as it was before and works well with teams looking to make picks around the map. Lastly, the Storm talents. As cool as it is having a Ghost Cow rock out hard from the dead, Death Metal isn't that great. I'm not a huge fan of abilities that play around dying, as ideally you would never want to die. In specific circumstances it's better, but I feel at higher ranks people will easily play around it. Tour Bus isn't that strong either, as you can't guarantee the duration will last all 6 seconds, and the power sliding feels kind of wonky to use mid mosh pit, as you're leaving the people you already had a mosh pit for someone else. Yeah, it's just kind of weird.
Crowd Pleaser is a nice upgrade to the upgrade it had before in the previous patch, and the increased radius is really nice, but the cooldown reduction isn't really that big of a deal as it's only going to be used for chasing potential, which doesn't seem to be that useful. Bolt of the Storm still looks to be the most solid pick here as it has infinitely useful opportunities. Bolting in to stun someone, bolting in to get a mosh pit off, it's just really good. I don't think Storm Shield is that good on E.T.C compared to the other Storm abilities that you have in that tier. So overall, I love the new talents that E.T.C has. There are a lot of difficult choices to make when picking up talents, and many of them are based on what the enemy team composition is running. I like that I can go for more of a damage build with Follow Through and Echo Pedal, or go for more tankiness to stay alive in the fight longer.
I think he is slightly weaker than he was pre-patch, but that's mainly because his talents were so confined into one build before and just kind of did everything that you needed to. I'm really happy with the new direction that E.T.C has gone and look forward to future reworks for heroes in upcoming patches. Please note that these are only my thoughts after the first couple days of playing on the new patch. Some of these things may be better or worse, I don't know. These are just kind of my quick fire thoughts after a couple days of playing. Hope you enjoyed, and thanks for watching. Face Smelt is an okay talent that essentially makes E.T.C more of a... Face Smelt is an okay talent that essentially makes E.T.C more of a crowd-controlling